I'm about to introduce you to specific time windows that the algorithm refers to when we have high impact news. And you guys are going to learn, if you trade indices, these are the specific time windows that you should be referring to. And these are the specific time windows you should be referring to if you trade Forex. And inside of this video, I'm going to teach you the step-by-steps of how you can find high probability trades with using high impact news events. So if you're a new trader and you're struggling to identify the time windows that you should be referring to, so at the start of the video, we're going to break down the steps that you should be taking to identify the high probability time windows in the trading session. And then we're going to go over some chart examples of how it formed and how it was high probability. So before we get into the video, make sure you guys are following my Twitter page. There'll be a link to that in the description down below. With that all being said, if you find this video insightful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Other than that, let's get into the video and break down the steps you should be taking to identify high impact news events and how you should be trading them. This was the first tweet I put out, and this is regarding indices. So if you're an indices trader, we're about to go over the time windows you should be utilizing with high impact news right now, and then we will cover Forex after this. So I said, once you understand this, a new world in trading opens up, and the first thing is no red folder news. Wait for 9:30 to offer a Judas swing. So what do I mean by no red folder news? Wait for 9:30 to offer a Judas swing. So typically before the 9:30 open, if we have no red folder news, the market will accumulate like right here. And once we accumulate, we will trade to the downside. So this will be the Judas swing at 9:30, or we can trade to the upside. Either way we trade, this is going to be viewed as a Judas swing, and we are going to look for buying opportunities if we sell off at 9:30, or if we go higher at 9:30, we will be looking for selling opportunities. And we are going to go over all of these points in a chart form as well. So we will go over some chart examples. However, right now I'm just giving you guys a rough idea of how all of this forms, so you're not confused when we go over the chart examples. So the next thing I said, if we have 8:30 red folder news, anticipate a Judas swing at 8:30 and then have a distribution at 9:30. So here the market consolidates, we have 8:30, we trade higher. Once we trade higher at 8:30, the market can either just wait around, and then when we have the 9:30 open, price will trade lower. So this is another power of 3 fractal. So you're viewing every single trade you take as accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. You want to position yourself in the distribution. You don't want to trade in the accumulation. You don't want to trade in the manipulation as well. You want to trade inside of the distribution, and this is how the high probability distribution days and time windows form. And finally, I said if we have 10 a.m. news, so this can be red folder or orange folder news, wait for 8:30 because this is the time window you're going to enter. So if we have a market which is trending before the 8:30 open, so we're trading to the upside, and then around 7:30 or before 8:30 we have a stop run, so we take sell side liquidity. You want to position yourself in at 8:30 because we have red folder news later on, and that 10 a.m. news is going to be used as a distribution catalyst, so it's going to add fuel to the upside move that the market was already going to go into. So you are looking for around 7:30 or before 8:30 a stop run. We take liquidity, and then after 8:30 you are looking for a way to position yourself in to continue with the order flow of the market. And now you have a rough idea of how all this forms and what you will be looking for. Now we're going to go over some chart examples regarding this. So the first thing you do is look at the economic calendar, and you can see Monday the 9th of September, we had no red folder news. So what does this mean? What we went over before was if we have no red folder news, we anticipate a Judas swing at 9:30, and then we can trade a distribution. So let's see how this played out on the 9th of September. So this dotted line right here represents the 9:30 opening bell. And what do you do before the 9:30 open? You draw out your sell side liquidity pool and your buy side liquidity pool. So these are the areas that the market can target, and we will frame our trades off of. So with our understanding, the 9:30 is going to offer a Judas swing. If we trade to the downside at 9:30, that will be our Judas swing. Or if we trade to the upside, that will be our Judas swing. So all we do now is let the market play out. Okay, so as you can see, we trade up higher, trade into the buy side liquidity, and we trade higher at the 9:30 opening bell. So what does this mean? This is the Judas swing, and this fair value gap made right here. Once the market disrespects this fair value gap, we can look for selling opportunities to target the sell side liquidity. There you go, market goes below this bullish fair value gap, and we have a close below, and we can target the sell side liquidity, which is right here. So at 9:30 we had the Judas to the upside with no red folder news, and now we can target the sell side liquidity, and as you guys can see, we trade lower and take out the sell side liquidity. So this was the first example. Now let's go over the second characteristic of news. And the second rule was, if we have red folder news at 8:30, anticipate a Judah swing for a 9:30 expansion. And you can see we have sell side liquidity below this low, and we have buy side liquidity above this high. Anticipating one side of this to be taken at 8:30. So at 8:30, you guys can see we take out the buy side liquidity and the sell side liquidity. As we closed as a down candle, this was the Judah swing to the downside. We can look for buying opportunities to target the buy side liquidity. And as you guys can see, that the market trades to the upside and we take out the buy side liquidity. And another thing that you can utilize if you made it this far into the video, I'm going to give you a gem. 8:30 red folder news events map out the high and the low of these candles because they hold liquidity. So you can see we take out the high of the candle. The next thing the market will do, it will target the low of the candle. And you can see that we trade to the downside and we take out the low and the high of the high impact news candle. So this is how you can utilize 8:30 news events and anticipate them as the Judah swing. And now let's move on to the final understanding of news if you trade indices. So the final thing you need to understand is if we have 10 AM news, look to position yourself in around 8:30 for a 10 AM expansion. So 8:30 should be the Judah swing and 10 AM will be the expansion. So in this fractal, you can see we have sell side liquidity below this low and we have buy side liquidity above this high. So as you can see, we also run the sell side liquidity. So before 10 AM, we can expect the market to trade higher and target the buy side liquidity. And we want to position ourselves in, before the 10 AM news. So you can see this purple shaded area was the Judah swing at 8:30. And this is where you wanted to position yourself in for the expansion at 10 AM. So you can see this is the buy side liquidity we will target. And at 10 AM, we trade to the upside and we trade into the buy side liquidity. This is the logic you need to be trading with if you trade indices. Now let's move on to Forex. So for Forex, this is a tweet I sent out. If you trade Forex, you need to study this. And the first thing was no 8:30 red news, wait for London close at 10 AM to offer a bread and butter trade. So what do I mean by this? So when we have no red news at 8:30, expect the market to consolidate or not do anything. So you can expect a seek and destroy day. And then when we have 10 AM, expect a London close reversal. So if the market is trading to the downside before 10 AM, look for a reversal and you will look for a bread and butter trade. So this can be an external range play. So the market takes external range liquidity right here, and then you will just target internal range for a quick scalp. You're not looking to hold for a long period of time. You're just looking for quick scalps to be in and out of the market. And then I said 8:30 red news, anticipate a Judah swing for a 9 AM expansion. So again, you guys are trading with the idea of AMD, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So the market will consolidate or it will accumulate before 8:30. Then we trade to the upside or the downside. If we trade to the upside, this is viewed as a manipulation. And then as soon as the 9 AM candle opens, we look for an open high, low close setup, and we will look for it to target the sell side liquidity or the accumulation that we had. So again, this is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So every single trade you take will be formed based off this. So this is what will happen. We'll accumulate before the red 30 news event. Market will either expand to the upside or the downside. This is the Judah swing, and whichever direction it goes, we anticipate the Judah swing, and then we will trade the distribution right here. And then we will frame it to target the sell side liquidity or the buy side liquidity to complete the power of 3 fractal. And then the last point I made was if we have 10 AM red news, wait for 8:30 to offer a stop run, then position in for a 10 AM expansion. Even if we don't have red folder news at 8:30, usually at 8:30 you will see a stop run inside of the market. This is because it's actually built in inside of the algorithm. The market will seek liquidity at 8:30. And lastly, I said if we have 10 AM red news, wait for 8:30 to offer a stop run and then position in for the 10 AM expansion. So the 10 AM news can be red folder or orange folder. They both affect the market equally. However, this is what you're looking for. Before 8:30, you're looking for an accumulation or the market to build up liquidity. And even if we don't have red folder news at 8:30, the market will seek liquidity at 8:30. This is something that's built into the algorithm. It will be looking for liquidity regardless if it doesn't have red folder news at 8:30. So if we have a bearish order flow market, it's trading to the downside, and then before 8:30 we have a stop run, or at 8:30 we have a stop run into the buy side liquidity, and we have bearish order flow. you are going to look for selling opportunities to trade lower, and then for the market to add juice to your position to trade lower at the 10 a.m. news. So these are the 3 key points that I picked up in my journey of trading news and trading inside of the market that I gave you guys for free. And now I'm going to go over the chart examples for if you trade Forex for every single one of these points. So if you made it this far into the video, I'm going to host a class inside of my Discord, which is going to be completely free. If you guys want to join, there'll be a link to join in the description down below. But I'm going to cover this in much more detail and you guys can watch me cover it live. However, let's go over these 3 points inside of the markets. So the first thing is if you trade Forex and we have no red folder news at 8:30, you are looking to trade 10 a.m. So you can see this is the price action before 10 a.m. and we have built up liquidity below this low and we built up liquidity above this high. So throughout this video, I'm going to refer to liquidity the most because this is the most important thing. If you can't identify liquidity, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to become it. So at 10 a.m., this is what we're doing. We're waiting for one side of this area to be taken. So you can see we trade lower at 10 a.m. We want to position ourselves in when these candles are trading lower, and we want to look for buying opportunities to target this high. So this is the 15-minute chart. You can drop down to the lower charts and you will look for buying opportunities. So you can see we've already taken out the sell side liquidity, and we will look for the market to target this high, which was the buy side liquidity. So this is a nice and easy bread and butter setup. So again, we had no high impact news at 8:30. Your attention is drawn to 10 a.m. You wait for a run on liquidity. So in this case, we run the sell side liquidity. When the market is trading lower, every time it trades lower, you want to position yourself in, and then you will target the buy side liquidity, which is above this high, for the London close reversal. And now let's go over when we have 8:30 red news. So here I have an example on AUD USD. You can see we have sell side liquidity below this low, and we have sell side liquidity below this low. So this is the current dealing range from this low to this high. And we are anticipating at 8:30 when we have the red folder news for the market to take out one side of this dealing range to target the other. So you can see right here at 8:30 we take out the dealing range high and we want to target the dealing range low, which is right here. We wait for 9 a.m. because we're going to utilize that as the expansion. So this candle right here, this is 9 a.m. and we make this fair value gap. So we want to target the sell side liquidity, which is below this low. Once we trade into this fair value gap, we can look for the market to trade lower and take out the sell side liquidity, because at 8:30 we had the Judas swing to the upside, and then 9 a.m. offers the expansion into the sell side liquidity. And now let's go over the final understanding that you need of news if you trade Forex. Okay, so this is Friday the 13th on Euro USD. What is the first thing you do? You map out your dealing range and then you wait for 8:30. So if we have 10 a.m. news, 8:30 will offer a stop hunt. So whichever side of the dealing range gets taken first, at 10 a.m. this is where you're going to position yourself in to target the other side of the dealing range. And this dotted line right here represents 10 a.m. All we do is wait for 8:30 to have a stop run, and then we will trade at 10 a.m. As you can see, after 8:30 we run higher and take out the dealing range high. With this understanding, we can look for the market to trade lower and target the sell side liquidity below these lows. So all we do now is wait for 10 a.m. and we can expect an expansion to the downside to target the sell side liquidity. And as you guys can see, we trade into this order block, then we trade into this propulsion candle, and then we trade into the sell side liquidity, which was right here. So this was the final tip that you needed to know about Forex. If we have 10 a.m. news, you're waiting for 8:30 to offer a stop run. Once we have the stop run, you're going to trust the direction that the market's going to go into at 10 a.m. for an expansion. So in this video, I gave you real tips that happen inside of the market and which repeat regarding red folder news. You will not find this anywhere. So if you made it this far into the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more, there will be a PDF on my Twitter page, so make sure you're following that. And as always, keep in mind, I'm rooting for you and I hope you find success in this business. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.